So hey guys, so today I'll be explaining some topics regarding to OOPS concept. So my first topic will be encapsulation, and then we will go to abstraction, and then the inheritance concept. So let's build a ES6 class first of all. So for example, I'm writing class like user. There's my user, and I will build a like a constructor. Here I will, for example, this dot body equal to be solid. There's like the card. So my body will be solid. I mean, solid will be like if I can pass like it will act as a parameter. So solid. If I pass metal, it will give me metal. Plastic, then plastic. So for example, I am giving engine as maybe 40 horsepower. Very bad at the cars things. Okay, so what it does is it is a basically ES6 class. It is a way of building an object. So, and there is the constructor function, as the name says, that it constructs an object. So whenever we are invoking this class, this automatically my constructor function will be, the constructor will be executed. This actually gets invoked. So yeah, and this is basically a keyword which will be pointing to my parent object. Here in this case, my parent object is like user. So yeah. So for example, let us see the let x equal to new keyword is basically it will be pointing to my user and it will construct my object. So new user, and I have to pass like maybe metal. Yeah, metal. And if I do console.log x, save, you can see it is building an object and directly giving me the object. Okay, so it's a form, it's a way of constructing an object. That's it. So for example, I'm making methods, maybe for example methods like, for example, if I'm in the company, there should be a research document, right? So let me write a research docs, and this should be private, isn't it? This should not be public. So only the developer can see the research docs, isn't it? So for example, log, let's say I am inside the research area. Okay, so if I do, for example, x dot research docs, if I invoke this, you can see I'm inside the research area. So if this is basically methods, this is the object, and inside the class we will be making some methods and all. So research docs is like acts as a methods. So as you can see here the user, only the user can easily access this research doc, isn't it? So do I need this thing that my user, for example, the public, can directly access my research docs? No, right? It is a confidential area. So here comes the concept of encapsulation. So let's see what the definition needs to say. So encapsulation is basically packing of the data and functions into one component, for example, class, as you can see, class, and then controlling the access to that component and make a black box out of the object. Because of this, the user of that class only needs to know its interface, not the hidden implementation. Okay. So for example, what is encapsulation is basically, if I am doing the hash, for example, so hash is basically encapsulating my method, and no one can, they can see the function that, yeah, there is a function called research docs, but they can't access this function. Okay, so as soon as I use the hash, it is basically encapsulating my data, and now no one can access the research doc. So yeah, this was the idea about the encapsulation. So let's jump into the first of all the inheritance. So inheritance is basically like, for example, normally what inheritance means is basically inheriting the uh, the properties from the parent object, isn't it? So what ES6 has to offer is, you just write the class, for example, class, it will be me. For example, I am inheriting the for example, I am inheriting the properties from this user. Okay, for example, I am also the guy, just take it as an example. So class me, and it will be for example, extends user. Okay, so what I am doing is I am inheriting the properties from the class user. Okay, this is what is, this is basically a syntax, so no need to worry. So yeah, so and class me, so I am inheriting the properties from the user. Okay, so here I have to also write the constructor. And now what ES6 can do is just use super keyword, and you are good to go. So what super does is, super is basically these two lines. There might be, for example, there is only two lines here, but what if there are almost thousands of lines of code? So for example, control C, control V, control V. So for example, this much of key, this much of code were there. So will it be a good practice to copy these and then pasting in the line number 50? No, right? It will be like violating the dry principle. So yeah, so for that, what we will do, let me delete this. Yeah, so what we'll do is just the super keyword, and it will completely inheriting the completely inheritance the properties from their parent object. Okay, so similarly here I have to pass the solid thing, and here also, because the super keyword needs the solid, isn't it? So here I have to pass the solid. So if I invoke this, for example, I have to invoke, like, for example, let y equal to new, as it is a class, new, and my, for example, it is plastic. Okay, so what I will do is control dot x, okay, y, and if I save this, okay, let me first of all remove this. Okay, wait. If I remove this, as you can see, there's my object, and how many lines of code I have written? Only one line, and it is completely inheriting my properties from the parent object. It is plastic, as the body I have mentioned plastic, and the engine I got the 40 horsepower, and the here you can see. So yeah, this was the inheritance part. And abstraction is basically like dividing the task. I'm not like, wait, let me go through the definition. So what abstraction is to say, let me first of all, yeah, abstraction. So it is a way of to reduce the complexity and allow the efficient design and implementation in the complex software systems. It hides the technical complexity. So what I am doing is, for example, I can write this research doc here or here as well, okay, inside the constructor. But is it a good practice? No, right? So whatever the task, it's like a function. It is basically dividing the task and just making the code simpler as possible. So it is like a easy to debug, isn't it? So if there is an error, then I can directly see that, yeah, in which method there is an error. Okay, so it is easy to debug. That's why it basically reduces my complexity of the code, so that it is easily readable to other developers as well. So yeah, it helps for the user to avoid the writing low code level. So it's like I'm not messing with everything. Everything is separate. For example, research doc, there might be other methods as well. For example, I can write maybe uh, research area. What are the things? For example, color, upcoming colors, maybe upcoming projects. Okay, upcoming projects. So these things, upcoming projects, this method was also related to this. You use, I mean, this class only, isn't it? But I don't need I don't need these upcoming users to be accessible with for the users, for my parent, I mean the for the users as well, I mean the customers. So I will write the hash and no one can access my code. You can see that there is an upcoming projects like a method, but yeah, you can't access that. So yeah, that's how the, I mean, I am separating the code. It will look good. And yeah, so it avoids the code duplication and increase the reusability. So for example, I can use this method anywhere in my code, anywhere inside my class, isn't it? I can use this method whenever I want to, isn't it? So yeah, that's how the definition is saying. Avoids the code duplication, increases the reusability, can change internal implementations of the class independently without affecting the user. Yeah, so it is not you affecting anything in my constructor function, isn't it? So that's what it's telling, and helps to increase the security of an application or program. So for example, if there is a sign up maybe, so there is a sign up call. So I want this to be accessible with the customers as well, for example. So isn't it? But but for example, my research doc, for example, it's an admin page. Okay, so admin will have the access to the research doc, isn't it? Will have the access to the upcoming projects. So I can customize that. Yeah, if my sign up, I can write codes here that yeah, if the sign up is an admin or something, then he can get the access of the research docs or the upcoming projects. So that's how he will get the access. So it's basically it's like increasing the security of the program. That is it, yeah, and the important details are provided to the users. Only the I can like control that whoever needs to see what. So yeah, that's how the, I mean, the abstraction thing is working. And the inheritance, as you can see, it is basically just this keyword, super keyword, and it will completely inherits all the, I mean, the properties from its parent object. I mean, so for example, it is if it's me and I am inheriting the properties from the user. So just yeah, this was all about it. Thank you.